Hey guys, how are you? It is Queen Kuli. How's it going today? I hope you guys are doing really, really well. That started before I was ready. Um, I hope that everything's going great for you. And I was really wanting to do a video for you, so here we are. I hope that this is January 2025. I can't believe that we're here. I can't believe that it's January. Like time's going by so fast. I hope you are all doing super awesome. And I have been experiencing some turbulence, like the airplanes. But through the turbulence, I've been coming across some amazing opportunities for growth. And I had some information that I wanted to get out to you. And so that's why I'm here. So I hope you're all doing well. I'm Queen Cooley, if you don't know, and I am a clear channel for God, for source, for spirit, for animals. I'm an animal communicator as well. I can talk to animals and people that have passed over. I'm in the realms all the time because I speak not only to God, but to other beings of light in other places. And it's a full-on conversation. If you guys don't know, what I do is I get myself ready, I meditate, and then I take a pen and a pad and I have my earphones on because I listen to music while I meditate. And I just am completely protected and off we go. And then I start, whoever wants to speak to me or who I want to speak to, I can ask as well. They are literally in front of me as I'm in front of you right now, and we're having a conversation. I can ask questions. It's amazing. So I'm bringing that up because a lot of people have been asking me lately, saying they've been having problems meditating, a lot of my clients. I teach meditating a little bit differently. I am not the type of person that can do this. If you can, all the more power to you. I can't. My mind's too busy. I'm thinking of 50 things at once. So what I do is use music. I call it astral music, otherworldly music. It's basically music where there's no talking. Um, I can leave some links below. You can check it out. I just get it off YouTube, and I found a couple of really good channels, and I just make a playlist. Super easy. Whatever works for you. Some people like the bulls, that sound. I can't do that. Whatever works. Some people like somebody singing in the background or leading you through it. But the main thing is definitely try to meditate because it is so helpful. I mean, I do it morning and night as much as I can. It is a great part of my work, but it also calms me down because 11s have a lot going on at all the times in their minds, what's around them, in their bodies. They're telling me also to make sure that I mention to take care of yourself. That's one of the first things I wanted to start with was you need to start taking care of you. And when I say that, I'm talking about drink your water, take your vitamins. I know it's the same old, same old. Exercise. If you have insomnia, exercising will help. I used to say I get a lot of my best ideas when I exercise as well. So it's just a way, sorry for the shaking there, it's just a way for you to reset yourself and get rid of the, crappy energy that's around you because there's a lot of people out there that have really yucky energy. And you and I might be going out and protecting ourselves all the time, which if you're not doing that, you need to do that. Even if you're going to the grocery store, like I always say, make sure that your shields are up. You can do a light around you, whatever works for you. There's a million ways to do it, but make sure you do because if you think about it in the grocery store, the people that are unawakened are just taking their energy and flinging it everywhere. And if you're 11, you're sensitive, you're empathic, you can pick up on that stuff. And if you don't get rid of it, right, at night or whenever, it's going to kind of make take up room. And you only have so much room in your body and your aura around you for the good energy to come in. So you don't want anybody's stuck yucky energy near you. So make sure that you're protecting yourself and getting rid of it at night. Okay. Just to start off. But I hope you guys are doing really, really well. So a couple of things have come up for you that I thought would want to mention. And the first one is I wrote down, be very aware of who you are talking to, especially if you have clients. Now, I've never talked about this. Um, I had an experience recently, and it was not that good. Um, we sometimes forget that We're not all the same. Some of us are, much more damaged than others. Depends on your background, depends lots of variables. That's neither here nor there. But what's important is if you have clients or you're out speaking to people quite a bit, even if your job, even if you work in an office and you're talking to a lot of different people, as I said earlier, they can have negative energy. And if you're working with clients and doing kind of what I do, spiritually speaking, you really need to be protected. I mean, it's really imperative because there are people out there that dabble in things that are very dark that you're not going to want around you unless that's something that you specifically want to work with. And I'm talking about dark magic, voodoo, all kinds of stuff. I personally, I want none of that near me. That's not my deal. I do other things, right? Um, there are people that are built to do that and they're good at it, but that's not me. But what I'm saying is, you don't know everything when you're going in and talking to people and clients, but be aware and always make sure that you're protected. And really make sure that if things are changing for you, like say you start out a client relationship and everything's cool and it's awesome, but if things can maybe go sideways, you want to make sure you pay attention to that, and you might have to pull out. And if you do, I mean, if you have to switch gears, do it. Okay. Because we don't always know the person, you know, that we're talking to. Many times we don't, right? So that leads me to you guys need to start taking care of yourselves and start putting yourself at the forefront of your life, not everyone else. And I speak from experience because I did this for years. Don't do it. Getting this very, very strongly for you guys to please, please put yourself first. Everyone around you is putting themselves first. Trust me. Because we want to please others so much, it's the way that we're made. And because we have 11s have a very big life purpose, and we are here to shine our light, ascend, evolve, change, be masters, right? It's 11 master number, life path number. And that means that our calling is much larger and grander than others. It's not, hear me on this. I'm not saying we're better. I'm just saying we're different. Some people have a calling to do stuff locally, and that's wonderful. But 11s, usually all the master numbers have, we're the ones that are supposed to be in the front. We're the leaders. We're supposed to be in the front so that people can hear us and see us. And it's basically that we're making up the ground for those that are not ready yet so that we can shine our light and they can follow us. Does that make sense? So that goes back to taking care of you and putting yourself first. So important that you drink your water, go to the gym, work out, really take care of yourselves. Super important. If you don't, who will? And as I said in one of my last videos, what would the world do without us? I'm just saying, it's not an ego thing at all. It's a fact. You're here to lead. If you don't know that yet, you got to wake up. That's why you're different, right? That's why you're different. We're not supposed to fall in line with everybody else. We're not supposed to be everybody else. And the more that we try to be someone else, the more miserable you're going to be. I'll even give you an example like online. Everybody in business who's an entrepreneur, online, social media wise, they all have their ideas of this works for me and that works for me. And I always love to learn, like you guys. And sometimes I'll be learning something. I'm like, well, maybe I should try that. But usually, when I try to do something that's the way that somebody else is doing it, it never works because it works for them, but it won't work for me because I'm completely different. We're quirky, we're different. You just have to be yourself. And you have to be okay with people not understanding you. Let me tell you something really important. We came into this world without anybody understanding us, not one soul. We came into this world as a baby, much loved, most of us, hopefully you guys, but didn't understand us. My parents loved me, but they didn't know what to do with me. They just knew I was different. Maybe she's special, I don't know, but I don't know what to do with her. Thankfully, now in this day and age, there are a lot more programs, but still, 11s and empaths, they don't have any idea what to do with us. And I'll tell you why. They don't see what we see. They don't hear what we hear. I always give this example. Take two books, right? One is a regular book. You open the book, just a book, right? Writing on it. Remember those old pop-up books that kids use? The pop-up, and then they open it up, and then everything's popping up. 3D? That's us. That's our world. That's what we see. That's what we feel every single day. If you're in a regular book, you don't understand what this is, this other book, because you've never seen it before. And for us to look at that book is like, that's boring, right? So that's where the judgment and the compassion, lose the judgment and gain the compassion and being grateful for who you are and being different, even if no one understands you. Now, I may get a lot of pushback for this, but I'm an 11. I've lived my whole life like this. I get it. I really do. It's not easy a lot of times when people don't understand you or they take your kindness for weakness. I had that my whole life until this is the other thing I want to tell you today. I drew the line. At some point, you guys have to draw the line. Now, it used to take me a really long time to draw the line. And when I say draw the line, that means I've had enough. I'm not dealing with this anymore. It's not working for me. I got to move, or you got to go, right? I used to, because we're so kind, because we want to help. As a matter of fact, this is what I had. Let me see if I can. I had written down something specifically, like word for word on this, which is really important. You are kind, and it's hard to draw lines because you can see others' weaknesses, but sometimes their lesson is to take care of themselves. Sometimes we have to learn that we can't fix everybody. In fact, I can't, we can't fix really anybody, right? We can fix ourselves. We can help others and guide them. But a lot of times people may come to you and they want all the answers and they want you to lay it out at their feet. It's like, listen, I don't get all the answers. It's not the way it works. You've got to do the work. If you do the work, then things will happen. But don't be afraid to draw the line. And once you draw the line and make that decision, don't back up on it. But at the same time, you don't have to guard it as well. You drew the line, that's it. Right? Don't let people take your kindness for weakness because we have sharpness underneath us, as you know. Our words can cut and our words can heal. And try to be gentle and, nice. But there are some times when people deserve what they get. That's it. You're not going to walk on me. So I know you guys get this, but drawing the line is a big deal. And you need to be quicker at it. And when you feel it's the right time, do it. And then it's done. Release the outcome and then keep moving on. Okay? Very important. So now, also, they're saying that you guys need to be more lighthearted and play. Because right now, there's a lot of, for us, we want to accomplish a lot of things. We want to move forward. We have goals that we have set for ourselves. We're very hard workers. We're very diligent. But you don't have to push so hard, right? Unless you're a masculine, because that's masculine energy when you're pushing. A lot of times it's easier to attract, right? So I would highly do that in meditation. Anytime I'm sending anything out into the world, like this video, I will pray over it and that I will just want everybody that needs to hear it, and you're attracting versus pushing, right? It's almost like sales, you know what I mean? Like buy this, buy that. You're totally turned off. So we don't have to do that as 11s because our vibration's a lot higher and because that vibration is heard by the universe. Think about if you're pushing versus allowing and attracting. It's a totally different vibe, right? So, especially if you're a feminine, right? Because a lot of times we get in that role where we're like, okay, it's work. I need to be more male, which means push stuff going forward. But it will work better for you if you just kind of allow it in and attract it. Like, this is who I am. This is what I do. I'm here to help you. If you need my help, awesome. If you don't, it's fine. It's okay. Right? Because that's the only way that you're going to get the right people to work with. Whether it's, you're an entrepreneur on your own, Or if you're still working at a company and you want, clients within the company, other people that you're working with on collaboration, other departments, whatever the case may be. Or if you want to try something different, completely different. I mean, you could be working in an office right now and hate it. Like I used to hate it and feel like my soul was dying every day. And all you want to do is maybe, I don't know, do something creative. Maybe you want to draw. Maybe you want to paint something fun. Do it. Express yourself. You are the star of your life. You are. And if you're not, and you're putting other people first, you are doing yourself a huge disservice. Huge. And I'll tell you what happens after this if you don't listen to me and you don't believe me. And it's okay if you don't. I'm not here to prove anything to you. But if you haven't drawn the line and you let negative or unkind people that take advantage of you, your kindness for weakness, you don't draw the line and they keep abusing you, two things are going to happen. One, you're going to get so mad one day you're just going to blow up and that's going to suck for them. Or two, you're going to be thought of as weak. And we are not weak people. 11s are not freaking weak. We are the strongest people out there. We have edge because we've been through a lot of shit. Like I said, we were born with no one understanding us. We have lived our entire lives with very few people understanding us. That's why we don't have a lot of friends or any friends. That's why we need a lot of alone time because we like being alone. You know what I mean? My sister used to be like, "You're alone a lot. I'm worried for you." I'm like, "Don't worry for me. I'm good. I love being alone. I have no problem with it." I've been like that since I was a little girl because there's so much minutia around, right? When I go out or whatever, and I don't want all that. I like peace and quiet so I can center myself. I'm like my own best friend. It's actually hard for me to be with people because most of the time they don't get us. And if that's not your job is to help them. They don't have to get you, but you have to get them. That takes effort. Does that make sense? I hope so. I hope so. But bring lightheartedness and playfulness back into it. That's how you can flow more and have more harmony. And that's what you need to not push, to have that allowing and more fun stuff come in. And that's why I say, think about something creative like painting, drawing, writing, videos, photography, traveling, like whatever it is, you know, fun. Bring back the fun because we're so serious all the time. And you're a lot fun, more fun, when you're playful. Here's another tip for you. A lot of times I'll just put on my headphones. I put my songs on because I have to have songs. I have to have music every single day in my life. And I just dance around. And it relieves the energy. It lets anything negative out of me, sends it up to the realms with love, right? And then if you're moving your arms and dancing, it's switching up the energy in your house or wherever you're living and making it positive. So it does a lot of different things. Plus, it's in your headspace, puts you in a very good headspace. So do that, be playful. All right. Another thing that I had heard was, um, especially if you're business wise, you are, there's a lot of to-dos that we're putting on ourselves that's what pulls you down and doesn't give you time to be playful. It's like I have all this work to do. And then we feel like we've got to do it and master it and keep moving forward like a slave driver, like keep going, But we don't have to do that, right? You don't have to do that. Work in segments and strive towards flow and harmony. That's what will make you happy, happier. Um, Super light download I wanted to read to you. It's time for you to take care of yourself, right? The work that you've done diligently and good-heartedly, that took the burden off others was not always appreciated. And now I'm going back to the clients of what I was first talking about. Sometimes we get demonized for it because we understand people and they get upset with us because we can see within them, right? And then they take your good works and feel as though they're not enough. And then they thrust that back on you and you're the bad person. And that's not at all what we think or what we feel. but then we're the bad guy. So you can easily be the bad guy because you can see into them, but they can't see into you. So it's not a two-way street. And that can be very frustrating for them. And you'd never use it with malice. You always have good intentions. But people don't like others looking under the hood unless they give permission. And even with permission, sometimes they don't like it. But that's who we are. And that's as I say now, that's a them problem, not a you problem. It's not your problem. That's a them problem. So start learning to separate out what you need to, hold on, deal with, and what others need to deal with. Because it literally helps me when I'm like, that's not my problem. That's their problem. That's a you problem, not a me problem. Right? Because and why am I saying that? Because a lot of empaths and a lot of 11s do this thing. I used to do this. If somebody's mad at you or angry or whatever, they just have to be at you. Anything, could be anything. And you're like, did I do something wrong? And the person's like, no. And you're like, oh, okay. Like you're the bad guy. It's like, you didn't do anything wrong. Why would you assume that? Why are you disempowering yourself like that? Because somebody's mad, it may not have anything to do with you. Anything. Could have been work. They could have gotten cut off when they were driving. Could have had a long line when they went to McDonald's. I don't know. Assuming that you're the problem, that's something we've been trained in. So I would strongly, if you do that, I would strongly urge you not to do that. Simply be yourself. But Spirit is encouraging you to stay out of worry and draw the line and choose to take care of you, right? Be lighthearted, play, and make sure that, you're staying your power as much as you possibly can because the devil's trying to hold you down really, really, really strongly. And I'm here to remind you that can't do anything to you as long as you're working the way you're supposed to be working and taking care of yourself. Make sense? You guys are special. 11s are different. And giving others compassion is what we do. But I want you to know it's very important that you give yourself compassion. This is a big theme for this year because why not give yourself the compassion and the love that you give to others so willingly? People you don't even know. Just give it, but you won't give it to yourself. That doesn't help you. It hurts you. So where can you be more compassionate, forgiving, and kind to yourself? Because that leads to stories. Like your thoughts lead to stories about what you tell yourself. And any negative stories that you've been carrying around, they don't help you. They don't empower you. They take your power away. So you really need to think about the thoughts that you have that come across your mind. If they come across your mind and they're negative, it's time to look at them and let them go without judgment, just love, letting it go. And then the stories associated with that, because the stories have the emotion attached to it, that's what you want to let go of. And then you want to write a new one, an amazing one. Honestly, every night I say, this is what God told me to say, I am the legendary Queen Kuli. I am protected by Father, the highest of all gods, right? And I'm here to live my life to help others, but I'm protected and I'm loved and I'm legendary. I'm telling you, this year is going to be amazing for me. And I want it to be amazing for you too, because we have all struggled long enough. I'm ready for my big ascension here. Done. I've learned a lot, but I'm just being shown I'm just coming out now, like the caterpillar, so just changing into the butterfly, right? And that's okay. The more compassion you give to yourself, this is the key. The more compassion you give to yourself, the happier you'll be. And you'll let other people off the hook. Let them do them. Do not take on their crap. That's them. That's a them problem. That's a you problem, not a me problem. I got my own stuff to deal with. And sometimes the people closest to you, you're to be their light but not their teacher. This is important, right? I have people close to me that are completely in a different place than I am. As I always say, that timeline, I always say this to you guys, say I'm here in the middle. There's people behind me that haven't awoken yet at all, or they're just starting to. They're way behind me, but there's also people way ahead of me. They know way more than I do. It's got nothing to do with age. And that's okay. We're all where we're supposed to be. No judgment. Like, I don't care. Just do you. Last thing I want to talk about is manifesting. Everybody always asks about manifesting, and there's a million videos on it, million gurus talking about it. And I have a whole process I'm gonna start teaching on. If you would like to know how to manifest, I am teaching a month-long course on it. It's a process. There's like 7, 8 steps, and within each step, there's tools. It could be 1, 2, or 3 tools. It took me a few years to learn how to do this, one step at a time. And I would like to teach you in a month if I can, because you need to learn every step and then the whole process and put it together. If you leave out a step, it won't work. If you leave out a tool within the step, it won't work. Okay. But I will give you something today that hopefully will help you. And I'm going to help you. This is one of the last steps. If you're trying to manifest, because it's a new year, right? Let's do our goals. You know how everybody sends over those quadrants, right? Health, your body, physically, spiritually, professionally, and then family, like within, your spouse, your brother, your sister, whatever, your partner, whatever. And then, you're supposed to go into each quadrant and put your goal. I hate that. I hate it. I know all about goals, how it's supposed to be measurable and all that stuff. But it doesn't work for me, and I'll tell you why. It doesn't work because I could just put down the same thing every year. Yep, want to lose 10 pounds, check that box. Yep, want to make more money, check that box. Yep, need to meditate more, check that box. Same thing every year. It's boring. So I hate that stuff. The reason why I hate it is because it doesn't work. If you've been trying to manifest for a while now, it hasn't been working, I guarantee you this will help you. I shouldn't give this away for free, but you guys are 11s and I love you guys. We're cut from a different cloth, and this will help you. When people manifest and want to manifest a goal in their lives, they do so by working from their past, always. So if you've been a secretary or you've been in the marketing group, let's just pretend you work at a company and you're in the marketing group and you're a graphic designer. Okay. And you want to do something different. If you were going for another job, you'd bring your resume in, tell them what you've done, and you'd either get the same job for more money, because that's what you're experienced in, or you maybe do something, a little different. Like maybe I'd like to go to the art department, or, maybe I'd like to go into whatever. But I bet you never say, I want to do something completely different. Like go for a completely different company in sports, and you've been in insurance all your life, right? Because you'd be like, I don't have experience there. So I'm not qualified. I can't do it. But if you've had an interest in it your whole life, maybe as a side hustle or just a hobby, even if not, if you're being called somewhere, that's okay. So you are limiting yourself if you're only working from what you've done. And that's not good. Rich people don't do that. They're like, hey, I want to go make clothes. Okay. Have you ever done that before? No. Okay. How are you going to do that? I'll figure it out. And you will. They will. And so will you. So don't try to manifest from your past. Manifest from what you truly want and where you truly feel like you belong. And here's the other part of that. When you manifest, a lot of times, because we're working from our experiences, and if they haven't been good, then you're kind of working off a weakness there when you need to be working off a strength, right? And the strength is, I would use a totem animal. That will really help you, because use an animal with power. That's how you manifest. And it's a clear power. All right, guys, I hope this helps. There's lots of ways to work with me. There's the Spiritual Warrior membership that's up. Check that out. You will have a meditation. I'll meet with you guys once a month with a Q&A. Also, it's going to have your very own journal, and it's going to be based on something like this month's January is Hope for the God Codes. That's what it's called. So it's 33 pages long. It has teaching in it with very deep exercises and questions to change your life and manifest exactly what you want. And you looking back and saying, well, this is where am I? Like, what changes can I make? So that's one thing. The other thing is me personally one-on-one for sessions, and also through the Brave Academy, which is 3 months long. If you want this process to manifest that I've been talking about, let me know. Just DM me, email me, whatever, and I will send you the details. All right, guys, hope this helped. And I hope you guys are doing great. And don't forget, flow. All right, I'll talk to you soon.